Hello and welcome. You are watching Cricbuzz Live. I'm Gaurav Kapur coming to you this beautiful Thursday evening. It's a beautiful Thursday evening here in Mumbai. Let's check around the world how the evening is. We've got Lisa Sthalekar joining us from her little stuffed animal zoo in Bengaluru. How's it going, Lisa? Good to see you.
Good. I'm good, thanks. How are you?
You were stuck in a bit of traffic, which is...
Traffic, Bangalore traffic.
Yeah.
Next level.
Just remember, if you're ever going on air, then make sure you don't get out on the road in Bangalore for about 8 to 10 hours in advance.
Right, got it. Noted for next time.
You may be stuck. And we have Shaun Pollock joining us from South Africa. Is it a good afternoon there, sir?
Yeah, it's fantastic. We're heading into winter, still warm airs, no breeze, bright sunshine outside, no traffic to talk of in my area. So happy days.
They're scared of you. Is that why there's no traffic?
No, he doesn't leave the house. That's why there's no traffic.
He has no idea.
Where were you off to, Lisa? Where were you going?
Just going actually to UB City.
Oh.
Okay.
A shopping mall, sorry.
Yeah. But you're buying us presents.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're coming. They're in the mail.
Hey, so nice. Well, let me tell you, there's a fair bit of traffic that's on the field today as well, because both teams have got people marching in and marching out. That's right, plenty of changes. Before we go, let me tell you, it's Hyderabad and Delhi who are playing each other, of course. This, by my estimation, would perhaps be match number 51? 50?
Or
half
50
century?
on the dot.
50 on the dot. There you go. Half century on the dot. And there two things have happened which should not have happened. You didn't need them to happen. Kane Williamson went out to the toss. He didn't need to because he was obviously going to win it. And he did. And then they asked him what he's going to do. And you didn't need to because obviously the winning captain would want to bowl first. And that's what he did. So honestly, I feel about 7 or 8 minutes of about 1 million people have been wasted in that pointless exercise. So yes, Hyderabad has won the toss. They have decided to bowl first. And let's tell you about the changes because there's a few, right? So who do we do? Who do we go first? Where do we go? Because we know that for Delhi, there's no Prithvi Shaw, Akshar Patel, Mustafizur Rahman, and Chetan Sakaria. Well, they've...
and what were the reasons? What were the reasons given at the toss?
It's not us. That's all I know. It's nothing to do with us. So that's why. I think, injury, some of those changes, I'm guessing, I'm just guessing here. I'm thinking that Fizz and Sak have probably gone out for Khalil and Nokia / Ingidi. Yeah, so we'll have that in a second. Shaw and Akshar would definitely be... Well, there you go. My guess was correct before the information came. So Khalil back from injury, Nokia fit to play. So which means they take the places of Chetan Sakaria and the Fizz. Then we have Ripal Patel in there for Akshar Patel. So a Patel for Patel. So that's a like for like replacement. And we've got Mandeep Singh at the top who's playing for Prithvi Shaw. So Prithvi and Akshar both a niggle. They'll feel this, won't they, Polly? They're going to feel this. Especially Prithvi at the top, batting first.
Yeah, I think Prithvi is the big loss there. A little bit surprised if Akshar has just been left out on form reasons. Khalil Ahmed and Nokia, at the start of the tournament, you would have thought they would have played their part. So the fact that they're both fit and raring to go again. But Prithvi is a huge blow. The batting for Delhi hasn't been fantastic. When I say that, there's been contributions, but no really big scores. We've got to the bottom of this. They've only had 5 50s in the tournament, 2 of them to Prithvi, 3 of them to Warner, and their highest score is only 66. So Prithvi and David Warner have been the 2 form players. The guys in the middle, they've made some contributions, but nothing really substantial enough to keep them winning consistently. So for him to have gone and the pocket rocket, the way he sets the pace at the top of the order, I think a few bowlers in the opposition will be happy, and a few Delhi supporters will be rather upset.
No, this has been that kind of season for Delhi, Lisa. They just keep running into one roadblock after the other. There was the injuries and the late joining of the team for David Warner. Mitchell Marsh got injured. Nokia was not fully fit when they started. Then Mitchell Marsh came back, got COVID. There was a COVID scare in the camp. Then Ricky Ponting not available for one game. And then the kids were up to some mischief in the game. He was not available against Rajasthan. And then now they've got these two niggles to Akshar and Prithvi. And Akshar especially, actually after that last knock that he played in the futile chase, but his knock was, he went at a better clip than even Rishabh Pant did. Right, he got 42 odd, I think, on 24. So it's really been a crazy year for this team.
Yeah, it hasn't been ideal at all. When you look at how many issues and stumbling blocks, as you mentioned, that have come up, and not initially having all your internationals available. I think they initially played with, I think, 1 or 2 at the start, and then when they weren't available, just everyone builds their team around a certain group of players, a certain core group. Prithvi Shaw was certainly one of them. Mitchell Marsh, David Warner, Akshar Patel, all of those players are integral to Delhi and performing well. And when they're not available regularly, it just upsets the apple cart, and the team can't get on a roll, which is evident with their performances so far in this IPL.
Prithvi Shaw, of course, is, he's another one who's been in form. So they've got some runs up front. He's got a 50 as well. And you're right, the Hyderabad bowlers will be looking at that and saying, all right, that's one guy less to worry about at the top. But a lot of those bowlers have seen changes as well. So a bowling lineup that has been doing quite well, actually, has seen some changes that are coming today. So let's pull out their 11 as well. There's Kartik Tyagi, who's been given a cap, Sean Abbott, and Shreyas Gopal. So they've got 3 new people who have come in, which means, I'm trying to do the math. Washington Sundar, of course, is a straight one, swap. Shreyas Gopal comes in. Marco Jansen is out, and Sean Abbott comes in. And then, of course, Natarajan is out, and Kartik Tyagi is in. Your assessment, Polly, with the 2 quicks being replaced, especially Marco Jansen and T. Natarajan for Abbott and Kartik Tyagi.
Yeah, no surprise. I think Jansen's maybe hit a bit of a blip. Maybe he would have lost a little bit of confidence, particularly after that one last over that he had not been able to defend. So in the camp, you'll get a good understanding for where he's at. He's still relatively young and inexperienced at most levels of cricket. So maybe just an opportunity to rest him. I just think it's a big task to ask those 2 fast bowlers to come in at this stage of the tournament. It doesn't matter how much net practice you've had. You're still going to have to try and hold your nerve. I know Abbott's an experienced cricketer. He's played a lot of cricket in his time, just the 2 RPL games for him. But can they step up to the plate under the pressure situations? I mean, this is getting to the back end where you can't afford too many more blips with regards to qualification going forward. And it is a big ask, but I suppose if there's injuries, like Natarajan, I think he's injured. So that's why he's going to be missing out. But, we have to just wait and see. As I say, net practice, not ideal.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the points table and see what the importance of this game is for both these teams, right? In the context of not just against each other, because that's what they're battling for, because if Delhi gets these 2 points, they can actually jump above Hyderabad and they can sit in 5th position. Whereas if Hyderabad wins, they can actually perhaps go and sit above Rajasthan at number 3. So there's a lot at stake. Lisa, this is the juicy end of the tournament where every win and every loss will just cause this little Jenga block collapse on the points table.
Yeah, and given that there's only now really a handful of matches left, everyone's fighting. 2 points is crucial. A victory, a good victory as well, just to improve your net run rate. I mean, Hyderabad, their net run rate is good, same as Delhi. That's what's going to help them potentially if they were to lose one of their last 5 games. But 2 points is so crucial for both sides. And you can see the big jump that they can both make. So this is a huge game for both teams.
Yeah, because there's teams that are actually tied on points and they may go ahead tying on points, but you see the negative run rate. I mean, if you pull that points table up again, we'll have a look and see the negative ones, which is especially, I worry for Bangalore because they're getting the points, but they have to be clear 2 points, because what happens in this tournament, Polly, is that you have to then, Bangalore, they can't afford to lose, but if they lose, they have to lose close, and they win big. That's what you do, because otherwise this minus 0.4 is difficult to catch up.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a look at those bottom 5 there's just the 2 in the positive, and Kolkata's barely in the positive. I think if they lose by 1 run, they'll be back to negative in the next game. But I just feel, in the old days, before there was the super overs and you used to have the odd game rained out, you'd almost get that non-result. And you'd go to 13 points or to 15 points, and that would often make you qualify just because that extra point. Whereas both these teams, they'll be saying, if we finish 4th, tied with others, there's a good chance we're going to go through. So they've almost got that little extra point in their pocket. But it is about maybe winning 3 at least of the last 5. I think 3 out of 5 for Hyderabad would be fine. 4 out of 5 would have to be probably the case in point if you're looking at Delhi.
This is why Lisa keeps saying bonus point. She keeps saying bonus point. Nobody listens to her. I keep saying Rahul Tripathi to open and Williamson at 3. Nobody listens to me. Polly, what are people not listening to you about? I'm starting a petition. Tell us to change. You need to say.
Well, I'll probably go down. Never mind the RPL. My daughters aren't listening to me. If I tell them to do
that happens to everyone. Come on, Polly.
You're
not the only dad. You're not the only dad going through that.
We can only help you with things that are possible, right? I'm sorry.
Not the impossible.
Not the impossible. No petition. No amount of allowance and late curfew on, what is it? Little Saturday? Little Saturday. Yeah. It's Wednesday. Yeah, Little Saturday.
That's Wednesday.
None of that's going to help you.
What's today? Big Tuesday.
It is Big Tuesday. That's right. Thursday is the Big Tuesday. Wednesday is the Little Saturday. And Saturday and Tuesday are losing their identity. Delhi also has to make sure today that there's no identity crisis for their lead batsman, David Warner, because there's a little bit of identity issue there, because we all identify him with Hyderabad, right? And why not? He's been one of the bona fide legends of Orange, took them to a trophy in 2016, which was, their maiden title. I mean, Deccan Chargers won, but this is a different team. It's from the same city, though. He captained them in the most matches. He won 3 orange caps for them. You may say they're the Orange Army, so all their caps are orange, but no, this is the leading run scorer orange cap, 15, 17, and 19. Then he was the leading run getter in 6 of the 7 seasons. He is so Hyderabad, which is why watching what happened to him in the latter half of last season, Lisa, was just so painful as a cricket fan, whether you were a Hyderabad and a Warner fan or not.
Yeah, it was. He is kind of a real legend when it comes to IPL cricket. He has embraced Sunrisers in Hyderabad, and so is his family, and so is the fans. You see what he does, and he watches Telugu movies, and he does all the dancing and the singing and everything that is in Telugu to connect with those fans. And that's why it was hard, because we weren't across the whole story, were we? We never knew what was going on in the background. He wasn't even turning up to the games. He wasn't part of that 16 that was allowed to even enter the ground. He was sometimes even at the hotel, which was really hard to comprehend. So whilst we know David Warner has come out and said, you know what, I'm sticking to my processes. I'm just watching the ball. He'll be focusing on what he needs to do to win for Delhi. Yeah, there's got to be a part of him that goes, you know what, I'm just going to stick it to him. This is my opportunity. The one opportunity that Delhi plays Sunrisers is today. So he's got a great chance just to remind them what he's been capable of for so many years for them.
Yeah. Polly, we were talking about this last night as well, and I brought it up with Simon Dool when we were previewing this game today, about how, and I know you and I have spoken about it on Cricbuzz Live as well, how some opposition kind of brings out just that 1% extra from you than any other, because every time you get on the field, you're obviously giving it, your 100%. But some oppositions just kind of tick you a little bit. And I know you've given your views about that yes, that happens. But how do you then make sure you don't get too worked up?
Yeah, I suppose that is the challenge. I mean, the thing is, in playing these games, in the RPL, in the big games, in the finals, it's almost to try and not create a script. Don't get too far ahead of yourself with regards to what you'd like to unfold. Because all of us sit in our bed, you're waiting to go to the next game, and you're thinking, it'd be nice if I did this. I'm going to try and do that. And you start to try and paint your own picture about how the day is going to transpire. And I think that's the danger, is to get too far ahead. He will be quietly determined, I'm sure. Was such a massive part. He was at Delhi before, wasn't he? Another 3 years.
Yeah.
So he's almost been split in loyalties, I suppose we could say. Now he's back to his roots, if you want to call it that. But I think he'll be determined. He's had a good tournament so far. And I suppose, Kane Williamson was the one who was kept, obviously for certain reasons, to captain the side as well. And he hasn't got many runs. So Dave Warner might be saying, well, the best way to show you that you're missing me is just to get some big runs
to move on post breakup. He's just moved on, Lisa. And he's taken to the new relationship really well, David Warner. He's the leading run scorer for Delhi.
Yeah, he's got the new clothes, the hairdo, looking good, just to make the other that his ex a little bit jealous. Is that where you're going with this conversation?
I'm going with the, he's got the good run aggregate. He's looking good in the strike rate. Yeah, the opening partnerships, right? All of those are working, whereas those don't seem to be working for Hyderabad, because while Williamson's done really well and, of course, led the team really well, got them on a winning streak of 5 games, but what does he do? Because we've seen Williamson in the IPL, Lisa, and he's just such a, we've seen him in T20 cricket. He's not a fish out of water in T20 cricket, but it's just not coming together for him in this season.
Yeah, the year that actually Kane Williamson took over the captaincy when David Warner was under suspension, he kind of made us all turn our heads and think, hang on, this guy can play T20 cricket. The strike rate was excellent. The amount, I think he scored 500 runs that season as well. But he has struggled this year. Those numbers that were flashed up on the screen are not good at all. And you need your openers to be going at 130, 140. You can see Venkatesh Iyer as well has been struggling at 2 numbers under 200.
4 openers. 4 openers besides Lalit,
Yeah, so for both of those guys, and Williamson as a skipper, those numbers are not good enough. And he knows that. He knows that what he needs to do, and he probably just needs to find a little bit of luck, but also to give himself a bit more time as well.
His power play numbers are not good, Paulie. Now, there can be some argument saying, well, listen, Abhishek Sharma is the dasher. Rahul Tripathi comes and he's the dasher. So Williamson can kind of play around. But you can't do that in the power play, not with the kind of batting they have. They have a long batting lineup. It's not like, they don't. It's decent. It's not like it falls off a cliff after 6. So that approach.
The thing about him is, and what they often do is they tend to try and play them in the power play, don't they? Because they get value for normal shots, and that's what Kane Williamson's always been so brilliant at, just playing normal cricket shots. Punch it off the back foot, punch off the front foot. Don't have to whack it out the ground. You just got to get it over the infield, and that's been a real strength of his. So he'll be disappointed with that as well as the performance. But I think sometimes what the power play works against you is you if you're tentative, you've got to be in a positive frame of mind that you're going to just see the ball and smash it to all parts. Because if you're slightly tentative, there's no free singles, you can't get off strike, the pressure starts to build, and that's where he's basically been this season, in that frame of mind. But he came good in the last game, so was it 40 odd? So he'll be thinking, okay, I've got a bit of something behind me, and I need to play with a little bit.
We've got the pace versus spin here, right, Lisa? We've got, we keep talking about Hyderabad and...
He's gone. He's disappeared.
Gone.
So pace versus spin. You look at
I'm back.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back.
I thought we got rid of you.
Yeah, almost. Close enough.
You threw us a bit of a spin and took a few paces back, eh?
Yeah, nice.
Polly, stop it.
Nice. I like
no
it.
wonder your daughters don't listen to you.
The dad jokes.
Dad jokes.
Ask me the dad jokes. Yeah, so we should speak about the bowling, because while you think that Hyderabad, of course, has had the seam attack, and their seam has been doing more than their spin, because they don't have any spin, actually. They've just been bowling, the one, they've been playing the one player. But on the other side, a lot of spin for Delhi, because Akshar was doing it, and Kuldeep was doing it, and Lalit Yadav was doing it. Yeah. But today, with this reshuffle, and the reshuffle in the bowling lineup for both, Suddenly it's looking very different. I'm trying to kind of wrap my head around and say, where's the advantage in pace was, I guess in pace. In spin, you still have Kuldeep Yadav with his 4 Player of the Match award. So you'd say advantage Delhi there, as opposed to Shreyas Gopal, who's just playing, his first game. But in pace, where do you see that?
Well, I mean, Anrik Nokia just coming back in, really. So I'll be fascinated to see how he copes and the lines and lengths. So in nets, yep, you can execute really well, but can you do it under pressure when batters are going hard and they're able to clear boundaries? They get that thick outside edge that frustrates you, or the French cut. How are you able to kind of finish an over? So I'd say that to a certain extent that Sunrisers probably just have the edge slightly because of Umran Malik and what he's been able to do. But then you bring in who they've new players, Kartik Tyagi, Sean Abbott, all of these guys haven't really had a chance. So it almost kind of evens itself up. I mean, Kuldeep Yadav from a spin point of view, maybe Delhi go ahead. Umran Malik, because of the pace, he goes slightly ahead. And hopefully, and no doubt, they'll be hoping the experience of Nokia might just get them across the line as well.
Polly, Shaun, the thing with Hyderabad is that they're using their 2016 formula, which is that they win when their quicks get the job done. So they're winning when their bowling is clicking. Of course, you got to get the runs, but they're reliant more on their bowling, which is what they did in 2016. Low scores, well defended, or getting the other team out when bowling first, for a low score. They're doing that again this time. And if a team like Delhi can actually see off the seamers or make sure they're not losing too many wickets to them, that's kind of the formula almost to win against Hyderabad. Because, got to get the door. Somebody's got to get the door.
Yeah, no worries. Can you just I'll get my minions to go get the door. Thank you.
That's right. But that's the thing, right? They're getting the wickets and Hyderabad is winning. When they don't get the wickets, Hyderabad doesn't win because they don't have too much spin to rely on.
Yeah, I mean, 2016, they did brilliantly. They won that tournament in that fashion, but then straight after that, they got Rashid Khan in, didn't they? So they almost felt like there was a gulf that they needed to fill in. That's why they got him into the franchise. And it would be the same case in point. Washington Sundar was obviously supposed to do the job with his injury. I think they haven't got the real spinners to rely on. I mean, Kuldeep Yadav's been absolutely brilliant. So in the middle overs, he's dictated terms. You throw the ball to him and he's done the job. Sunrisers don't have that luxury. So what do they rely on? They rely on their fast bowlers to have to do that job. And they've come through, and the games they've won, they've been pretty good. But now with all the changes, as Lisa says, well, that's almost thrown out the window because you had two such dependable guys who aren't going to be playing today. So we'll have to see how it goes. So you can read a little bit into that. I think the key for me is with these fast bowlers is the one of high speed. I would think an Abbott and a Tyagi, they would probably be able to bowl with a little bit more control. Nokia, he'll be thinking, well, he can crank it up to over 150, but it's those kind of bowlers, if they get it wrong, who disappear, whereas the other guys don't disappear as much. So I think him and Kuldeep are the biggest, Khalil, should I say, are the biggest challenges coming back into the mix, as whether they can find their lines and lengths and form and accuracy.
Also, Lisa, talking about the Delhi batters, right? So we keep talking about the opening combination, but 3-4-5 is very important for Delhi as well. And 3-4-5 all interestingly got runs in their previous game. In that chase, they fell short by 6 runs, but they all got the runs against Lucknow, but couldn't convert that into a win. And that's going to bite them, right? Because Mitchell Marsh, of course, scored 37 of 20 and decided to walk without nicking, which is...
He did nick it. He knew he nicked it.
Come on.
We all know it. Come on. He walked. He did the right thing. I know Aussies don't walk, but he felt it and he walked.
You have a review now. Did he, Polly, did he nick it? Was that a nick? It wasn't on the...
Polly, is it 100% accurate?
Well, we're going to have to say, I don't know, maybe what happens, you hear something as a batter. I mean, I know plenty of occasions where I would have been in the nets or in a match and you go tick and you think, oh gosh, I'm on the way and no one appeals. So I know of those ones, But the ones where you walk and then it doesn't show, I'm thinking there must have
Bring
been
on
something.
hotspot. Come on, bring on hotspot. You would have seen something. Come
We'll
on.
put you on the hotspot.
But one thing about Delhi and their previous performance, Mitch Marsh looked incredible and basically showed why the last 18 months he's been the standout player for the Australian team when it came to T20 cricket. And that's why Delhi went hard to get him across. So they'll be wanting them to continue. Same with Rishabh. He seems to get these 30s and 40s, doesn't really, and it hasn't been able to convert. So one of those three guys, Rodman Powell as well, needs to be able to convert to 50, 60. When they do that, then they'll be comfortable and they should walk away with points. But that's why they're not being able to finish, because those 30s and 40s, yes, he'll get you close, but it won't win you matches.
I think the big problem for them, for Delhi, has been the big scores. No one's got a massive score. We had a look at this. 550s, the highest score is 66. That's the 36th best individual score. So their best individual score for the season, one player was 66. I think it was Prithvi, or it might have been Warner. They were very close.
Prithvi.
That's the 36th highest individual. It's the 36th highest individual score in the tournament this season. Yeah, so that's where they're missing it. So you need one guy every once in a while to get you 80 or 90, and then you invariably end up winning those games. And they've had no one do that, even though those top two, with Prithvi at the crease as well, have been decent. Him missing today, you need someone. Someone has to get a big score.
So here's the thing. You can have some amazingly glorious cameos, but who's your lead? You need someone to play the lead. Can't just have cameos. Correct. You need someone to get that 80 odd, and Pant has said that as well. So let's see if any of their batters. They're batting first today, so you'd think that there's lesser pressure on them, so maybe they can go and express themselves. I'm just going to ask, execute their plans. Yeah, get some momentum. Let's get all the words.
Freedom.
Play with freedom. Just get all of these out of our system. But Polly, Lisa said that the Australians would not walk after they nicked it. A couple of them did, though, didn't they?
I only know of one.
Yeah. Adam Gilchrist, that's it.
That's it.
No.
Now there's two. Mitch Marsh and Adam Gilchrist.
There's two. That's right. Only Mitch Marsh is walking without nicking it. There's a difference. There's a difference.
Some would say confused.
All I can say is the facial reaction of Ricky Ponting when he saw it on replay was not good. And I can only imagine what Punter would have said to Mitch Marsh.
Yeah.
He would have said, always take your reviews from now on. I don't care if you've middled it. Take a review.
Doesn't matter if you hold out at long on. Take a review.
Take a review.
Okay, excellent. Let's have a look at our joy factor question real quick. They do enough training, by the way, for the DRS. Yeah, Rohit told me once that they actually properly train for the DRS and how to take it. But anyway, let's see a joy factor question. What enduring achievement connects Shimron Hetmyer, Sarfaraz Khan, Avesh Khan, Ravindra Jadeja? The list is by no means complete. I know this. They're all Aries. No.
They all like long walks on the beach at night.
That's right. Is it? They all drink their protein shake at 4 p.m. I don't know. We're just guessing. We're just throwing it up in the air. But if you guys have the answer, then send it to us. #Cricbuzz Live, #Joy Factor. So please send in your answers to that. We still have our scoring guesses to do. It's Delhi. Jeez. I don't know if you can guess. Also, this is a bunker,
I'll just check
isn't
with
it?
my minions. What do you think the average score will be first innings? Today, quick.
She's actually
165.
She's actually got somebody answering back. It's not like Michael Vaughan's imaginary minions. That's crazy. 165? That's it?
Yeah. That's it. A low ball. I would have gone a bit higher, but anyway, let's see if the minions right.
Bourbon's been low and high, so I'm going high. I'm going high. New bowlers disappear, not being able to hit their skills as well as they should. 177.
All right, then I'm going to go higher.
Ooh.
I'm going to go 183. There you go.
Okay.
1 second. It's too close to you. Said 177, Polly?
Yeah, go 187
Fine.
just to really
187.
get under Lisa's skin. Yeah, there we go.
There you go. So we're going, let's just temper everyone's 167. No, Lisa, no 167?
Oh, 167. Yeah, first wicket's gone. So
All right.
I'm on track. Bad luck,
Oops.
boys.
All right. 167, 177, 187. The wicket going means Mitchell Marsh comes in the power play. Hashtag just saying. All right.
Don't play and miss.
Just saying. That's right. All right. Before we go, let's tell you about the new episode of Retro Reels, which is Joy's new show on Cricbuzz Plus. That has dropped. It's now streaming worldwide on Cricbuzz Plus. So please go and have a look. We also have the match party happening there on weekends. So have a look at that. 1 second. It's dropping tomorrow. Has it dropped already? Is it drop? It's dropping tomorrow. It's dropping tomorrow. All right. Really sorry about that. Just in case you were running. No, hang on. It's tomorrow. I am your reminder, right? I should remind you again at midnight. And if that's not enough, I will come tomorrow and remind you to watch it when it does drop. I got your back, guys. I got you back. All right. We're going to see you at the end of the 10th over with Cricbuzz Combox. A big thank you to Shaun Pollock and Lisa Sthalekar. I'm Gaurav Kapur. We will see you in a bit.